You know, the first time I heard that song, I knew it was just so totally cool, so totally strong. But it was just the most unusual of circumstances. Here I was, you know, trucking through this wild and desolate country of Las Vegas down there in the great state of Nevada, and you really couldn't tell what was going on or what the heck wanted to go on. I mean, it was hot. It was dry and a little bit of breeze, but not very darn much, man. And there was traffic, and there was smog, and there was grunge, and it was the middle of the afternoon, and even though my air conditioner was working, it didn't work that well, man. I had a big ball of sweat, and I was headed for the shower. Had enough. Time to park that truck and get some relief and, go take another ride. And next thing I know, I hear this song kind of playing in my heart. This much is true, this much is true. Kind of as I'm making my way across the parking lot there, in this big old city we call Las Vegas, Nevada. I used to stop there at the Blue Diamond Truck Stop, which has now probably been overwhelmed by an 80-story building. Parking for trucks up on top now. We got an elevator, baby. But anyhow, that's how much Vegas has changed since then. So here I am in this dry, desolate parking lot with sand blowing all around me and, hotter than blazes, hearing this much is true, this much is true. And when I open the door of the casino and walk in to go get my shower, there's this great big screen TV about 200 inches big, looking at me with this guy in a suit and a real skinny tie, singing to me the same song. This much is true. A real short-haired guy too, standing in the desert in black and white. Now, can you imagine? Gee whiz, I tell you, that was so poetic and transformative. Well, I knew there was some truth somewhere in the world that I just had to keep on trucking, and that somewhere, someday, I might find it and actually, get to live it or something, okay? That was my experience with that song the first time. How about you? That must have been about 82, 85, somewhere back in there. Was out there running around this country in a truck again. So, geez, I don't know how I fit it all in, but somehow I did. Wow, this life has just been phenomenal. How about yours? I mean, you've been out there and had those little magic moments that really seem silly, kind of stupid, really, but yet, when you think about it, you kind of recall back on it. The song plays again on the radio here on Spring Crick on the Hazy Radio Network. But what do? You go there. You be there in that moment, and you realize it was a lot bigger and a lot more expansive. Because you were, one, showing yourself some of your own creative magic, and how much fun it can be here to be in the 3D and actually be creative in this environment. You can pull all kinds of ironic little jokes like walking yourself out the desert singing "This Much Is True" into a nice air-conditioned casino with a big screen TV with a desert there, singing "This Much Is True" right back to you, And you start to realize truth is what you're made of. Truth is what we are, the real life, the flow of Spring Crick. We call this streaming radio. I want you to consider what that might mean. Let your heart get out here in this stream. Do you think you're not in the flow? Here on the Everclear and Sweethearted too. Hazy Radio Network? I would say so. HazyRadio.com. We got it on, especially early in the day when your old grandfather Coyote comes out to play, wouldn't you say? Except for maybe the Pope in Rome, yeah. Maybe. I'm not too sure. Oh, Joni and her little sister there, they make such a fine pair, such a fine contrast. Looking for a little hot stuff this summer, and there's Joni the Osborne, man. She says, well, how about God, man? You want to try that out, man, And this shuts old Donna Summer right up. Now she has to go sing a long song somewhere, somewhere else right now. But we'll bring her back here again someday because you guys love her just like you do all of our performers here, hey? Yeah, I thought so, man. Don't let them think otherwise. So be real careful in your criticism of our Hollywoodish performers, man, because, well, you never know. One of those might be God too, just like you and me. And I remember the first time I met God. Remember the first time you met God? Well, now I'm being just a little bit storytelling-ish here, okay? But there was this place in Springville, Utah, and it was called a bus station hotel. And it was a tiny little place for a bus station hotel. Nothing like what you got in Chicago or L.A. or them big cities all over this world, Calcutta maybe, everywhere you go. It ain't like that. No, it is a little tiny hotel, maybe 3,000 square feet or so, 10 rooms upstairs or something, and a desk and an office and a lounge downstairs, and a nice veranda upstairs and a nice veranda downstairs, so folks could rest out there in a patio and catch some sun or some shade in the sun and, enjoy the quiet of our humble little Springville, Utah town. That was my old hometown, by the way. That's where I was born. Well, no, I wasn't born. I was born in Spanish Fork next door to Springville, but Springville was where I was raised, because that's where my family was, where the family farm and the family ranches and all that stuff was, okay? So anyway, that's all I know about this bus station. And then there were these people that would, itinerants that would pass through, and of course my mother told me, don't you look at those people, they're evil, don't you look over there, don't you look at that hotel. Of course, there were times I'd go by there and my mother wasn't there. And I could walk over and have a pleasant little visit with somebody if I felt like it, I was like, Mom was always trying to protect me from all the crazies in this world. I don't think she realized that the crazies weren't crazy with me. They were pretty cool, I mean, for example, I could go down to the hobo camp and never be bothered in any way. I mean, totally respected as a person and a child, and told some mighty fine stories in the process, and treated real well and get them, campfire coffee that you don't get at a Mormon household like my folks has had going on, see? But anyway, there at these old hotels, of course, my mother prohibited me from ever having conversation with any of those folks because they're out-of-towners. They're probably not Mormons, and they're probably evil to boot. But I seen this one white-haired old guy. Gosh, he looked like a combination of Brigham Young and Joe Smith and God. You know what I mean? He just looked like the prophet type, you know what I mean? And he had all this white snowy hair, all over his head. He wasn't bald like I am, man. He didn't have no beard though. He was naked-faced. I felt embarrassed for him, but 'cause, if you're going to be one of the holy critters, you got to have some hair on your chin. This all kind of goes with the flow of it. But anyway, we forgive him because he had such a young-looking but ruddy old face. You could tell looking at him he was around 70 years old by your estimation. But by the Earth's estimation, he could have been 17 or 22 or something, you see. He just got a little age on him. And by golly, sitting there with his white cane in the sun, it was just more than I could resist. At first I thought it was Colonel Sanders, the guy that invented dead chickens and spices and stuff, that dude. But no, it wasn't him, it was his cousin, God, man, that's what I thought. Now, you just make your own assumptions. It could have been an E.T. of one sort or another. I sure had a feeling that those folks at that hotel probably were E.T.s just because of my mother's reaction to them. But then, my mother was a bit of a dingbat. She couldn't tell some things from another at times. I mean, she's a sweetheart. She's a mama. And she's always trying to boss you around and tell you what to do and what not to do, and who to hang out with and who not to hang out with, because she was a very pious woman. And she had very pious ideas about how things ought to be, poor girl. Well, she should have had Joan Osborne and Donna Summer around back in her day, huh? Yes, indeed. He might have helped her mellow out a bit and understand a bit more about how it really works here. But, oh, God and I, we had quite the conversation there on the front porch of that hotel. And he told me he even forgave me for burning up the lot across the street there that I set fire to when I was just a little bit younger than, a week or two before we had this little conversation. And he even set me straight on all of that. He says, you really don't want to burn this place down. What you want to do is bring it around. That's what he was telling me when I was just a little kid, 7, 8 years old, man. And tapping his little cane on the porch to emphasize, the emphasis-ities at the end of the word, because that's how I knew it was God, because it had great emphasis. You couldn't mistake the meaning, no matter what. You know what I mean? Of course, I didn't believe in God then, because by then I'd really soured on him because of my Mormon upbringing. Goodness gracious, I tell you, nothing will sour you more on God than a Mormon upbringing. Well, maybe a Catholic upbringing too. What the hell do I know? I only had a Mormon one, so I don't really know. But I know it sure soured me on God. I figured if God was that evil, that the devil must be pretty righteous. Well, somehow or another, we all come out of that craziness. And thank goodness for it too, man. Everybody meant well by everybody else, including yourself. You just wanted what was right in this world. And that's what your folks wanted, and that's what everybody else wanted too. We just had vastly different ideas about what that might be, See, this is where you get the feeling that you don't really belong here, is that we're growing up in places like that, because they will absolutely make you feel like you don't belong there, because you are not one of them. You can't think like they do. You can't worship like they do. You can't work like they do. You just can't do anything like they do, yet you've got to. You got to get along in this world. You got to go, struggle. But oh God, there at the bus station, man, he told me, he said, listen, there comes a time when none of this matters anymore. He said, you got through it. That's all that really matters, Don't let it stick to you like this. Of course, I didn't hear him too well then, but that's what he was telling me. Don't let it stick to you like this, You'll get away from it soon enough. I put up with some BS for a little bit. You'll get away from it soon enough. And guess what? You're going to find a real life, man. You're going to live a life better than 99% of the population. Well, maybe not, but anyway, you're going to have a good time whatever you do, he said. And you're going to learn, and you're going to grow. So don't let this stuff stop you. You already know what you know. Believe in yourself. Don't let them knock you off base. That's the biggest thing. And that was my biggest challenge in life, because I was 99 9/10 opposed in my tyranny against my Mormon upbringing. And not just by my family, I mean by the community around me, everywhere. And my classmates too, even, well, my best buddy not, but that was the 1/10 of a 1% that stuck by me. And well, we got through that one, even though he didn't live to tell about it. He died at 16, darn it. Natural causes, they said. I thought that was kind of unnatural. But there we go, babies, you see, and I was the only one. I wasn't the only rebel, but I was the only one that felt the way I did, at least as far as I could see, that really saw a different vision of the world and really didn't believe that you had to have prophets and rules and regulations to get through life. That really felt that people could get along if they just basically treated one another right. Just made that determination in themselves somewhere. And it'd be easy. And just like the music of rock and roll that was just beginning to grow then, bring harmony to the harshest of places. Smooth it all out. Get it just right, see? So maybe I didn't belong there, but my idealism sure did. And I inherited that from my ancestors, believe it or not. The very ones that laid the Mormon bullshit on me. How about that, huh? All the way back. See, baby, we get what we get. We are what we are. And God is one of us. We know that. The Great Spirit lives in everything, everyone. That's how we know we belong here, no matter what time of day it is. We decide to come out and play, or what it is we're playing with, or how we're doing it, or who we're doing it with. It don't really matter. What matters is that it all feels right and good, and that we're treating each other with the greatest of dignity and respect, and all that good stuff, That's all that really matters. Yet, most folks just don't get that. They don't even know what common decency is. That's why you got Joan Osborne singing sarcastically about God. And that kind of God, kindness is really despised in this world for the most part, isn't it? Well, it has been, let's put it that way. I think people are beginning to figure it out because the times they are a-changing, the ways they are a-changing too. And all the dark secrets are being revealed along with all of the gotcha light secrets too, see? You forget. You think darkness is the only one that plays around with treachery and can fool you. Well, bullshit. Lightness does that too, man. That's coyote medicine through and through. Because in the end, the formula starts right where it began. We are divine creation, meant to enjoy ourselves here in this life, and not regulate ourselves to death, and not judgmentally throw each other aside either. You know what I mean? To live and let live, and more than that, embrace what we're living and what we're given in our living, okay? In other words, have a little gratefulness for what you got. You want more? You don't want more, but if you did, just be grateful for what you got. There's more, you know, there's always more, you know? No matter who you are or how you want to get it, you know? That doesn't mean you're going to get it the way you want it either. But by the way, the earth, she is a changer, and your attitude's right along with her, baby. That means the old ways of thieving and stealing from one another, no matter what form it takes, out the window. Torment and tyranny, they have no place here. You know, we are the ultimate love in motion. We are creation in motion. When we finally realize that, well, the creation is our oyster, and we don't got to worry about a thing. You want a brand new shiny Rolls Royce? There it is. In fact, you can have a UFO Rolls Royce. You can have whatever you want and whatever you can dream of from the heart. It's a redirect, see. We get out of the mental processing into the process of the heart, which manifests itself then through the mental processing of creation. Get some gratitude in your attitude now? Well, you better, or I'm coming by to pay you a little visit, okay? And maybe it wouldn't be too pleasant, so I think you want to listen up, okay? Well, you should be so lucky. Now, you tell me your story. Where did you first meet God? Was it a little hotel bus station there in your hometown, or was it down at the train station, or was it on top of a mountain, or by a mountain stream like Spring Creek here on the AZ Radio Network? Yeah, Spring Creek's a rockin' little radio show too. But it's also a descriptor of me and you and all the rest that live here, baby. We all come from the divine area of the heart. We all come from the divine area of creation. We all live creation. We all are creation. Let yourself feel it, baby. Let yourself expand. See this tunage? It makes your heart large, as we say here at Spring Creek. Well, it's designed to help you expand in your feeling territory by letting the harmonics of the universe guide and direct your little bodily expression as you rock and roll to the performance, you see? But it's also on a larger scale, opening you up in the same way to life. So you just move with it naturally. The same way the music moves you here, see? $2, baby. It's magic shit. And so's your old grandpa, and guess what? So are you, and my little Okie-Wan Kenobi too. Well, of course, Mary Jane's pure magic. We all are, man. Get with the program, okay? And I don't want to hear any more complaints. You belong here just like I do. And if we don't belong here, well, we're going somewhere else pretty quick, aren't we? The way of the world, the way of life, the way of love is to enjoy the journey of it, the travel between here and there, the trail. It's awesome, man. That's the whole thing. It's not the destination, it's the journey. It's the rock and the roll. You got it? Yeah, I think so. Oh, I love you so, baby. Thanks for being here on the crazy little Monday special little program. We're not supposed to be here today on the Hazy Radio Network, but here we are, flown along like Spring Creek always does, in that comical and rather satiric sort of way. It's called Coyote medicine. And like life, that's what it is. Sweet and